Bharatiya Janata Party is all set to release its manifesto for the Lok Sabha polls today. The focus is expected to be in development and national security. Top party leaders, including Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and BJP Chief Amit Shah, will be present at the launch of the manifesto. A BJP statement said that the party's parliamentary board will also be present during the event. India's Finance Minister Arun Jaitley has announced the theme of Bharatiya Janata Party for the upcoming Lok Sabha elections, promising a hard-working and corruption-free government. The theme of the party is Fir Ek Baar Modi Sarkar, indicating that the political battle is going to be Narendra Modi versus the rest of the candidates. Second theme is Kaam Karne Wali Sarkar. This has come as an attack on the Congress, who has promised to review the Special Powers Act in their election manifesto. BJP claims that the review of the AFSPA will endanger the national security and offend the armed forces. Just days ahead of the Lok Sabha elections, Rahul Gandhi-led Congress party launched the election campaign tagline, Ab Hoga Nyay. With the new campaign tagline, Congress has made it clear that the party focuses on the minimum income guarantee scheme, which is the Nyay scheme, which was launched by the party President Rahul Gandhi on March 25th. On the same day, Rahul Gandhi had also promised 72,000 crore annual, in fact 72,000 rupees annual income support for 20% of the poorest families in the country. U.S. Homeland Security Secretary Kristen Nielsen has resigned from her position. 46-year-old Nielsen has held the position since December 2017. The department looks into immigration and customs enforcement and is responsible for carrying out some of Trump's most contentious border policies, including the separation of migrant children from their families. Nielsen has repeatedly been subjected to tough questioning by Democrats in Congress. Supporters of former Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva rallied outside his prison in Curitiba, to mark the one-year anniversary of his rule. Some of Lula's supporters also rallied outside Sao Paulo, famed Paulista Avenue, demanding his release. Lula is one of Brazil's most popular politicians. Left leader has been criticized by his opposition for years of corruption, botched economic policies and rising crime. 73-year-old Lula was jailed last April after being sentenced to more than 12 years in prison. Lula faces 6 other trials over corruption allegations. In a video statement, British Prime Minister Theresa May said that her Conservative government and opposition Labour Party must compromise to win support in Parliament for leaving the European Union with a deal. In a statement, May said that she wanted to leave the EU in a good way that does not disrupt people's lives. May's Brexit deal has been rejected thrice by the Parliament. Britain is scheduled to depart the EU on the 12th of April. And if UK wants another delay, then the Theresa May government must come up with a new plan as soon as possible in order to present it to the bloc leaders on Wednesday. An explosion at a warehouse in Yemen's rebel-held capital killed at least 13 people, including 7 children. 100 others were reportedly injured. The state-run news agency, which is aligned with the internationally recognized government, said that the rebels stored weapons at the warehouse. The Iran-aligned Houthi rebels said that the Saudi-led coalition had targeted the warehouse with an airstrike. The coalition denied carrying out any strikes in the area. The intense bombardment and fighting to dislodge Islamist extremist group has affected many lives in Syria. More than 70,000 people displaced by violence have been moved to the Al-Hol camp. Emaciated babies are being treated in Hasaka hospital. Makeshift wards are being built to treat malnourished babies with stunted growth and broken legs. Wards are filled with teenagers with missing limbs and women with bullet wounds. A forest fire has claimed 30 lives as it engulfed 15 hectares of forest in southwest China's Sichuan province. A team of firefighting squad was dispatched to the site in Muli country and in fact the county where over 350 firefighters are awaiting orders to put out the blaze. 27 firefighters and 3 locals died in the fire ignited by lightning. After weeks of power cuts and limited access to water, tens of thousands of Venezuelans took to the streets to back opposition leader Juan Guaido. Venezuelans suffering from hyperinflation and a widespread shortage of food and medicine claim that the crisis has worsened over the past 2 months. 2 massive power outages led Maduro's government to leave many businesses shuttered. Migrants and migrant rights groups held a protest outside the offices of the Mexico's National Immigration Institute. Migrants burned figures representing U.S. President Donald Trump. Many migrants camped out in front of the institute in Tapachula, Mexico. Donald Trump has repeatedly threatened to close down the U.S.-Mexico border, and Mexican officials do not do more to thwart the migrants. Rwandans gathered for a commemoration of the lives of 8 lakh people murdered during the Rwanda genocide in 1994. Rwandan President Paul Kagame laid a wreath at the Gizozi Genocide Memorial Site, where over 250,000 of people are buried, and later attended a special memorial event in Kigali. 100 days of slaughter began on April 6, 1994, after President and his counterpart were killed when their plane was shot down over the Rwandan capital. As many as 10,000 people were killed daily, with 70% of the minority population wiped out. The ceremony marks the beginning of a week of events to honor those who died. The San Diego Zoo in California is preparing to bid goodbye to 2 giant pandas. A special ceremony was held on Saturday to kick off a 3-week farewell event for 2 of zoo's favorite animals, who are all set to return to China. A 27-year-old female giant panda, BOMBARDMENT, and her son, 6-year-old Xiao Liwu, will leave the zoo in late April as the zoo's conservation loan agreement ends. Many zoo visitors are lined up to bid farewell to the pandas. As the first panda on loan, BOMBARDMENT arrived at the San Diego Zoo in 1996. She soon became one of the most popular animals at that zoo. Hundreds of Cubans marched through Havana calling for an end to animal cruelty. The activists were accompanied by the pets as they carried placards calling for an animal protection law. Organizers of the march said that this was the first independent march ever authorized in the state and comes as a sign of possible change. Some participants said it was ironic that the first independent march was in support of animal, not human rights. almost hinting at how authorities had used the less, in fact, politically sensitive course as a pilot test. Belarus is bidding goodbye to winters in a unique way. The city celebrated, in fact, the 9th edition of Californication, which is a festival to mark the end of the snow season. Winter sports lovers put on fancy costumes and launched themselves into icy waters. Several others gathered to say goodbye to the icy slopes. There were, in fact, also several contests, including best costume, best trick, and longest swim. A street in the German city of Bonn has transformed into an annual spectacle. There are cherry trees lining the walkways, creating a canopy of pink blossoms for locals and tourists to enjoy. Trees were planted at the end of the 1980s to bring a special color accent to the renovated old town. Trees are meant to revitalize, in fact, the part of the former capital of pre-unification Western Germany for its residents. The Japanese carnation cherry trees are known for their lush flowers. The bloom can last up to 2 weeks depending on weather conditions.